Hi guys, today I'm going to be talking about gender roles within lesbian relationships. I polled or asked, interviewed, however you want to put it, 32 people about their opinions on gender roles within lesbian relationships. And about a good amount of them, I would say 95% of the people that I asked believe that a feminine woman should be with a masculine woman and vice versa. And I thought it was crazy that people actually think that there should be heterosexual tendencies implied on homosexual relationships. And coming from a lesbian who is with a feminine woman, it's not the case. We are both feminine. She is a little more feminine than I am because she believes in doing her makeup. Her hair has to be on fleek. Her eyebrows have to be drawn on. And like, it's ridiculous. I'm just looking at her when we get ready to go out. I'm just like, but why does it take you so long to get ready? Like, I don't get it. When it comes to that aspect of being a female, I'm just like, I can't even deal. I'm like, I did not get that memo and I can't even female. Like, I don't even know what it is. But there are no particular roles in our relationship. I am more of the protector just because that's just me. I would not want her to be in a place or any type of environment that is going to be unsafe for her. I pull out her chairs. I open her doors. I let her order first. I don't let her walk on the side of the sidewalk that's close to the street. That's just me. I'm from the South, and in the South we are very big on chivalry, and I believe that's what every woman should have, whether you are with a feminine woman, whether you are with a masculine woman, or the women that are in between. Like, I don't feel like it should be one or the other. When I first came out, my family and my friends automatically assumed that the person that I was dating or was going to date was going to be a stud. And they were so far from the truth that it was ridiculous. When they found out that she was a super freaking feminine woman just like me, they were like, but I don't understand. Like, why won't you be with someone who's more of the man? Like, who's the man in the relationship? That's the question that I get all the time. Still to this day, when I first got into my relationship with my fiance, the first thing that my dad asked me was, "Who's the man in the relationship?" Well, we're lesbians. There's no man in the relationship. Or another question is, who wears the pants in the relationships? Well, we don't necessarily believe in pants, so there's that too. So, but there's not one particular role that one plays. Like, her personality is more of the nurturer, and it works for us. And I don't believe that you should have to be with a certain race because you're a certain race, or you should have to be with a certain type of female because you're a certain type of female. I think that that's ridiculous. I think within a relationship there are characteristics that works for that relationship. She won't take the trash out because she doesn't want to break a nail. I don't necessarily have nails, so I don't care. I don't mind taking the trash out. I'm not the best cook. She likes to cook. So those are those things that I feel like it's not necessarily a role, it's what we feel comfortable in doing. I don't mind being in the kitchen and cooking with her and burning stuff. Like, I might burn the kitchen down, but hey, whatever. I mean, it's all about doing stuff together. It's about being with who you want and being comfortable with who you are and who you're with. I don't necessarily believe that because I'm more of a feminine woman that I have to be with a stud. I'm not attracted to studs. I'm attracted to a more feminine woman. That's just my preference. I don't believe that every lesbian walking around has to be with a stud because we have to have that heterosexual relationship in a homosexual relationship. It doesn't make any sense. I think that any role, if you're in a heterosexual or homosexual relationship, should be thrown out the window because I feel like that puts pressure on someone to be something that they may not necessarily be. You know? Like, for example, in my relationship with my fiance, even though if you look on the outside looking in, I would be more of the dominant one, so to speak. I'm very submissive when it comes to her. And I don't think that that's something that people take in consideration. They see a lesbian relationship and two film girls are necessarily either they're going to be related or they're like best friends. They never identify as a couple unless it's like blatantly like put out there like, hey, this is my girlfriend. You know, people automatically assume like when I'm out with our friends or we're at a club or whatever and someone sees me with someone who is more masculine than I am, they automatically assume that we're together. And I'm like, I don't think that that's fair. In the LGBT, we have a community. You don't hear a lot of, oh, in the heterosexual community. Like, no, it's not a thing. There's not that camaraderie in a heterosexual like atmosphere. Like last night, I went to a drag show and there were straight people there, and the LGBT community is so welcoming to other people that it's ridiculous that we have to fight against these um what's the word am I looking for? We have to fight against these norms that's forced on us when we don't even force it on ourselves, you know? So, like I tried to explain to my father, or anyone for that matter who automatically assumes that because I'm A, I should be with B, it doesn't necessarily make sense. In the heterosexual relationships, you have very dominant women who are with very submissive men. You have black men who are with white women. You have, all these different mixes of things. And it's people who are heterosexual want it to be deemed okay. Oh, like I am with Susie, who happens to be from a very strict Catholic background, and I am a Christian, and it's supposed to be okay. You're supposed to be okay with it. But if you see a stud with a stud, it's like, how does that work? Who actually wears the pants? Do y'all take turns wearing the pants? Like, what role do you play? I necessarily don't believe that roles are a good thing because a role is to be played. If you have to play something in order to make your relationship seem real, I don't believe it's true. How do you necessarily gauge your happiness if you have to play a certain role for your relationship to work? That doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. Like I've tried to make sense of it. I tried to come from a heterosexual like standpoint and look in on a gay relationship, but I'm gay as hell, so it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm still confused about it. I sat down and I talk with people, and it's just like, no, no, no. You have me and the rest of the community all misconstrued. They are like I always thought before when I came out that I wasn't really into labels. I didn't want to be labeled as a lesbian. I didn't want to be labeled as gay. But then I just realized that sometimes it's not about the label that someone puts on you. It's about being comfortable with who you are and being exactly who that person is. So if you're a flaming like lesbian or flaming gay, it's okay. People are going to label you. People are going to put you in a box. But you better make it the best box in the world. I mean, my box is like bedazzled and like it's a party in my box. But being labeled isn't necessarily a bad thing. I just think that a lot of people don't take the time to actually get to know more about what it means to be gay. They automatically assume these things and then that's what they believe, and they're totally wrong. When I first came out, a lot of people thought that me being lesbian meant that I was gonna be butch. Butch doesn't necessarily equal lesbian. It's not like a math equation. If you're a lesbian, it equals butch, or if you're a lesbian, it equals like you're the worst person in the world. Like no, gay people are some of the happiest people that I have met. Have you ever partied with gay people? I mean, it is a fun time the whole entire time. There is no drama. People just want to dance, have fun, and that's it. Like literally, I've never went out and party with gay people, or even just hung around in an atmosphere with other gay people and had a bad time. It was like a weight was lifted off my shoulder. We were all in one space and we all wanted the same thing. A good time. Good drinks, good company. That's it. So I would love to know what you all think about gender roles within the gay relationships. Are you currently in a relationship where there are specific roles that you play and your spouse plays? Are they genderfied? And when I mean genderfied, sometimes people look at women in a gay relationship, a lesbian relationship, even in men gay men relationships. A lot of people look to find the more dominant one for them to make sense of the relationship, which I think is completely just like the wrong thing to do, because even if you did that, it still wouldn't give you insight on that relationship. You probably still wouldn't make sense to you. So, are you in one? Is it genderfied? How do you feel about heterosexual tendencies being imposed on homosexual relationships? And there was one more question that I had to ask you all, and I forgot what it was. I just hate when my thoughts come and go, because it's just like it never land. It's never coming back. I forgot the last question, but if you all can answer those questions for me, give me your opinion on what it is to be in a relationship. Like, are you with a more masculine woman? Are you with a femme woman? Like, what is your take on being with someone and someone imposing these roles on your relationship? I think for me, my only role is, and it's not a role, the only roles that I really like is the one you put in the oven, because those are good. But the only part I play in my relationship is to make sure that my fiance is happy, that she is safe, and that she's having a good time. I would give her the world if I could, within reason, because she's very expensive. Don't tell her I said that. Um, but that's it. Everything else in between, I let it fall as it may. I let the cookies crumble the way it's gonna crumble, because you can't stop it. So I hope you all have a good night, and I can't wait to talk to y'all next Saturday, and have a fabulous week. Bye, guys.